Halfway, good afternoon. Today is May 20th. Gotta bear with me, I'm sorry, I lost my voice here. But meeting called to order at 5:02. Want to basically have that call, roll call, please, Kelly.
For the chairperson, Ms. Evangeline M. Cepeda.
Present.
Vice Chair, Ms. Jennifer Sanchez. Member, Mr. David Camacho. And member, Ms. Rosanna San Miguel. Assistant. Here. We do have 4, Madam Chair.
Very much, Kelly. The board meeting was published in the Pacific Daily News on May 13th, 2026, and again on May 18th, 2026, to include ADA compliance and assistance as required by the Open Government Law. Okay, that we need to announce that. Board members, if you can please review the minutes of our last council meeting, which was on September 11, 2025. Please review that. Kelly, for the record, Council Member Rosanna San Miguel Tinston mentioned that it says via WhatsApp. She wants to make the correction that she was present when this occurred with this last meeting. Okay, can we make that correction for the record? So there was a motion made by the chair, vice chair. Motion made by the vice chair, seconded by Mr. David Camacho. Any other questions with regards to the board meeting minutes? Raise your hand, board members, if you approve the minutes from September 11, 2025. Thank you. Motion passed. Thank you. Board members, we had an executive session when we requested that everybody be left out. Again, please review your executive session board minutes, and then we'll go ahead and move to get that passed.
I move to accept with no changes.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Would anyone like to second that? Mr. David Camacho second that motion. The executive session dated September 11, 2025 has been accepted and passed. Thank you. Moving right along to our new business, because we've completed old business. On the agenda is the increase in our student per capita, meaning right now, as of today, it's at 7,800. We went before the legislature and we requested for 8,300. We will know by July if that is approved by the legislature. We're hoping and praying and we're crossing our fingers that they do approve this. I think our justification was very strong. We were firm in it. And then we also showed the improvements with regards to each of the charter schools. And I did express that this is the best year for all 7 of the charter schools as far as performance-based student achievement. Great job. Just wanted to let you know that. Please clap for yourself. You deserve it. We're going on to item number 2, iLearn Academy Charter School, the growth and facilities. Okay, Ms. Helen, would you like to take it, or Ms. Stacy?
Hello. iLearn Academy Charter School's decision to expand its program is a direct response to strong community demand. For school year 26-27, iLearn has already 920 students enrolled, with an additional 49 applicants currently on the wait list. Beyond those on the wait list, the school has also received numerous inquiries from families who ultimately chose not to apply after learning of the length of the wait list. This increase in enrollment is attributed to two factors: the addition of 100 kindergarten students and the retention of ILEARN's current fifth grade cohort as they matriculate into sixth grade next school year. ILEARN's growth plan will occur in phases. The first phase reflects our commitment to responsibly manage growth while honoring our current lease agreement, which remains in effect through July 31st, 2027. To accommodate the increased enrollment during this interim period, ILEARN strategically reconfigured and prioritized the use of existing campus space, creating 5 additional learning areas to support student needs. While this temporary solution is not ideal as a long-term arrangement, ILEARN carefully evaluated the opportunity for growth alongside the constraints of the current facility and determined that it was the appropriate time to expand. Our stakeholders, including families and staff, understand the temporary nature of these adjustments and have expressed strong support for the plan. One of the primary operational challenges associated with the increased student population is traffic management. In response, ILEARN contracted a private busing company to implement a pilot charter school mass transit program. Under this program, parents may drop students off at a designated Northern Depot location where students are transported directly to the campus. This option is intended to improve accessibility for families while reducing campus traffic congestion. Families may also continue utilizing the Department of Public Works bus system, particularly for students residing in the central and southern region of the island. In preparation for the long-term growth, ILEARN had issued a request for proposal for a facility capable of accommodating the school's expanding enrollment. While the RFP process yielded one submission, the proposal ultimately did not meet the required specification and was therefore deemed non-responsive. Based on the project requirement, a sole source approach was determined to be in the best interest of the organization. As part of the process, ILEARN conducted additional market research and explored alternative facility opportunities to assess the feasibility of continued expansion. The planning process is now approximately 90% complete as of last week, so I'm sure it's a little bit closer. The school remains on track with its original July timeline for formally announcing its long-term facility plan. At this stage, the ILEARN team is intentionally withholding specific details until all due diligence have been finalized.
Thank you. Council members, do you have any questions or concerns to address to Ireland?
Good afternoon. I just have one concern. You say you have a Northern Depot, drop off? And where's that at exactly?
We're making arrangements with, right now, Micronesia Mall, so it's an accessible place. And this we felt was necessary because a lot of parents have chosen the DPW bus because of the arrangement of how done. They actually have to go all the way down to Paseo, wait for the next bus, jump into a bus, and then come up to Iron. By the time they get to school, they've already been in the process for about an hour to an hour and a half, which is pretty. And then a lot of times the students arrive late to school, so we had to be proactive and provide. And this comes out of our allotted budget.
And also, is it secure? Do you have
Yes.
somebody there watching
There will
between the
be
drop
somebody-
off and the picked up?
Yeah,
so forth?
it's only the pickup, so parents secure their child until the bus comes, and they watch their kids going, but we have a designated, personnel, two trips, it would be 6:45 a.m. and 7:20 to make it into campus.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Helen, for that update. Hoping July, we should have a response from the council, right, to confirm everything. I would like that so we can have it for the record. Okay.
If you don't mind, can we also have a copy of your report that you just gave us? Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. The next on the agenda is CFA's lax status on school year 2026-2027 school year location. Okay, Mr. Hart, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, honorable members of the council. It's been a long and very tedious task with this procurement, and thank God that we were able to get through it. And I think we're pretty much at that 98%. I'm almost certain of that. And I shared with the council chair, a little bit of what the Attorney General's office had given us, and we're pretty confident that by the next couple of days we should know only in terms of the legal and the formality of what we have to go through. And again, the unique thing about charter schools is that we're not a government entity at all. And it's that really still undefined area in the law. And I know that the legislature will probably have to revisit that sometime down the line. But be as it may, with that said, it still requires, under the law, that we still go through procurement. And again, but we know that the Attorney General's office that allows us to be able to procure and go independently, just like GPA and all the autonomous agencies are able to do. Again, with that, it allows us now to go forward. We only did this process to go through the whole 9 yards, just so that we can show that we did follow every single procedure in our procurement for this new facility, so that there's no question, there's no doubt as to what we went through. We didn't have to do it, but we did it for the sake of overabundance of caution here. We just went ahead and did this process. So with that said, we should know in a couple of days where we're at, with the and signing with the Attorney General's office. So again, if this meeting had been a couple more days later, maybe I would have had some be able concrete announcement here. But what I can say though, it's going to be in the central location of Tamuno. Never has there been a middle school that has existed in Tamuno that at least I can remember growing up. There's never been a middle school here. So I think the demand is not in the question. It's just how much can we take in? And I think that's going to be a question as to when we do open. And I pray that, of course, we'll have a good solution, just like I learned, with how to be able to see influx. Of course, given the amount that we're capped at, and of course, we're stuck with that. So that announcement will be made at a later time. Again, I can assure it's going to be in a central location. Also, one announcement that we'd like to make is that with the capacity of the new facility and what we're looking at, we are now officially opening up our 9th grade to accommodate our 118 that are promoting. And we've already reached out to Tamuno Elementary. We did a
golden tickets, scholars, scholars.
And basically, we awarded 10 of their top students with excelled in science, math, and pretty much had a very keen interest in robotics and everything else that we have to offer. And we gave them, what do you call it, say, a golden ticket, which basically allows them benefits to guaranteed slot, free uniforms, and also an opportunity to be recognized. And so with that said, it allowed all the other schools to kind of watch out for what we're doing with students. And so it's just a great thing that happened. We're also we were starting with Quinlan Elementary, because of course that's it within the village here. And I think that's just a great start. Dr. Oven has always been looking to see how we can partner up and collaborate with them. Madam Chair, you were there at the first level league competition at Common Sense. Overwhelming response, and basically they're all excited. So we want to capitalize on that. And then again, also with the MIRA program, I know that Gacsc and Mount Carmel were also chosen and selected for this this program. This MIRA program is basically, let me just have this phrase, think just a little bit about it.
So, just to give you an idea about the MIRA program, it's a turnkey project for K-12. So basically, we'll be preparing the students for career readiness in terms of manufacturing, engineering, and even 3D printing and robotics. So that's how MIRA works. So they'll be provided the curriculum. And this will be available for all our students from 6th grade to 8th grade. And since we'll be starting on 9th grade, this is also something that we will explore.
And this is a DoD funded program. And so basically, they've got $300,000 worth of equipment, and we're talking robotic arms, machinery. Like they're going to come out here in the next 2 months to be able to set up, train, and get us going into this program. So we're really excited for that, and I know that everyone here is really looking forward to being able to be a part of that great program moving forward. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
I do have a question. With regards to school year 2027, 2028, can you assure the council that your new location will be open for the school year?
We're looking at opening 26, 27.
No, I'm rest assured. You're going to school opens for the 26, 27. You're not going to have any problems, correct?
We're not going to have any problems.
The next question I have is the school that you're moving into, hopefully everything goes well. That location, can that pull for an increase and not stifle you where you have to go look in 2 years for another school location?
Expect that right now at 980 comfortably,
Right.
and with expansion on second floor, it can reach up to 1,200.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I don't know if we're going to be able to hit anything over. I mean, I don't know of any middle school where that will hit 1,200, and I know
No,
that.
it's just good to know that you're foreseeing this. Unlike what I learned is encountering, you're looking 3 years and 4 years from today.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Council members, do you have any questions or concerns? Waiting for the report.
Thank you. We will have that prepared.
Thank you so much. Next on the new business is BTAX, request for middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Mr. Dillon, this is your opportunity to tell the council so we can get this going.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity to come here and speak. I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but basically the intent of this expansion, BTAX has accomplished so many things in the year and a half that Mr. Groh and I have been brought on as the leadership. And I think you can see all of that in the news. And one of the things that we've done recently that was in the Guam Post was we took our students to Japan last month. You know, when our students are conversing with them and they're seeing, you know, all of the things that these guys are doing in their science lab and in their math classes, they're very amazed and they kind of question, you know, why is this not happening on Guam? And for us at BTAX, that's what we're trying to do. Part of BTAX's goal is to make sure that these students are graduating with the reading, writing, and math proficiency that is expected of their grade level and expected of their age. And, you know, we've more than tripled our enrollment from our first year. And what we've seen just in the classroom, if you hear the teachers, or you can even see it in the assessment data that we give to all of our students, where they're coming from, their scores are very, very low. They aren't at the level, a lot of them aren't coming into ninth grade at the level of a ninth grader in math, reading, and writing. A lot of them who've come from, I don't want to point out any particular school, but you know, those who came as transferred in their junior year and their senior year, we're offering what we believe is the course they should be taking, for a course like pre-calculus, right? But it's almost like a foreign language to them. They're not grasping it. It's extremely difficult. And at least for us, our intention is to start early, start at the middle school. Everything we're doing, and not just in the academics, but also in the career development, we think that the island only stands to gain a lot from actually taking our programs and restructuring them to make them appropriate at the middle school level. One of the highlights that we have is our work-based learning program, where students every Wednesday, they're going out to companies like Title Guarantee or Security Title or Atkins Pro Guam, over 20 companies and organizations, and we just wrapped that up last week. And this is a program that has developed and evolved since we first started a year and a half ago, but we see that it's really beneficial, not just to a student's academic process, but even the counseling and networking and experience that they're gaining. At the end of the day, we're not going to push them towards college or any particular career. That choice is up to them. But for us at the middle school level, we think that if we can retailor some of the programs we're doing at the high school level to make them appropriate for that age group, I think we're setting the students up very nicely for when they do come to BTAX in the ninth grade. So we believe essentially that earlier exposure to the kind of project-based learning that we're doing and the career exploration that we're doing, these things can significantly improve long-term student success. Mr. Rowe, would you like to add anything? Yeah. I don't know if any of my colleagues behind me would like to add anything, or maybe I missed the point, but this is something that we are very much ready for and prepared for. And we look forward to discussing it with you guys further.
Good afternoon. Just to enlighten me, because I'm kind of confused here. You said you send your students out to the different private companies. Okay, is this more like an apprenticeship level, or what is it exactly? Can you expound a little bit more on the program?
Sure.
Okay.
So back in January of 2025, we started our work-based learning program. It used to be called an internship. Now, what they do is essentially, right, they're interns, but they're not just going and shredding paper or anything. They're not just making copies of things. That we have, in collaboration with Miller from Junior Achievement and our counselor, our academic director, they structure these things to make sure that there's some kind of deliverable at the end, whether that's a certification. For example, he should be in the next few weeks, but one of our students who's in our drone career cluster, he's been interning with TrueCoFly, and he just got his Part 107 drone license a few weeks ago. So that's just an example of what they're doing. They're not going there every Wednesday to just sit around and listen to people present or very clerical stuff. They are actually knee deep and immersed in what it's like to be in that specific work environment.
Any other questions, council members?
The request asked for the potential addition of the middle school grades. When do we foresee this?
Sorry. If we can do this by August at 100 students, that's separate from our high school enrollment, that'd be great. We're prepared to do this in August. Mr. Guerrero has been working very hard on the curriculum that scaffolds from 6th grade all the way up until the 12th grade. And we have an existing part on our campus that can accommodate 100 students to start.
Okay, that was my next question, is there room and what's the capacity of the location that you currently have to ensure that we can accommodate this?
So if I'm not mistaken, the part that I'm talking about, guys, is 450, something like that, the capacity. And so that's well above our enrollment cap if you were to add the high school and an additional 100 middle school students.
I do have a question. Council members, just so you know, I did visit the site. I was very impressed with the Gacsc. I did see the location. He did bring it up to me. So I'm going to let you know, Mr. Dillon, this is what I recommend you do on behalf of the council. If you want this to take effect in August, you need to start working with us closely so you can put out your public hearing notices, meet with that, do everything, and then meet with the council. You know, there is law required. Feli can guide you with this because I'm very technical with not violating the law. There is a guideline where the public hearing notice has to go out. It has to be placed in the mayor's office of Barragata because your location is Tizen. So you have to post it there. You need to take a picture of that's posted there, that you're having a public hearing for your expansion of middle school. And then have your public hearing, invite the council. We will be at your public hearing. And then once that goes through and the process is going through, you meet all the requirements under the law to have an expansion. Then the council will meet in July and get you ready for August. But this is going to be a quick thing because there is a time constraint with the law, okay, with public hearing notices. So I recommend that you call Feli tomorrow, work with her on that timeline. I'm going to review it. Then you can call your public hearing. You can call it at your school, the public hearing at your school, but it must, under the law, be posted at the closest or district of a mayor's office and other places, like in front of your school. When they enter the office, it has to be posted there. And then put it on your website, okay? Once you do that, you can invite the council. The council's not mandated to be there, but I will tell you that I will be there as a council member. And then once that goes through, you meet all the requirements, that the council will meet in July, move for the vote, and we will take it from there. So you can open up and go smoothly. My goal is for each of the charter schools, come August when you open, to move in smoothly, because there's an expansion for each and every school. There seems to be a demand. So the need is there, and that's great. Okay, I did explain this to the Guam legislature, to the senators. I did explain this to the governor and the lieutenant governor, that the demand for charter schools is growing. Whether you like charter schools or not, it is growing. The people are demanding this. And we need to get this out of our head, that these are not public school students. They are students of Guam and they are public school, but they have a choice. That's the difference compared to when we didn't have a charter school. Okay, Dylan, are you on top of this? Because the timeline's right now it's going to go into June, and we want to make sure that you meet all that requirement, okay? The council will do their part, but you must do your part first, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you're all invited to our graduation next Wednesday at Leo Palace at
My
11
God,
a.m.
when I said Leo Palace, I said to Feli, what? But, well done. Okay, thank you. Questions for BTEC? Thank you, council members. Okay, next on the agenda, moving right along. Bagalayan Around, request for middle school.
It's been a very taxing week with the end of the year, and it was my fault. I read the email wrong, so Secretary is making her way in, but we'll go ahead and start our presentation. But we come before you today with the full backing of our board to respectfully request your support and approval to extend our charter to include Manat Nagay Hukwa, Manat Nagay Tulu, and Manat Nagay Patpat, 7th, 8th, and 9th grades. Our mission is to revitalize and sustain the Tomoto language, culture, and values through education. Today, our students enter our program in the early years and build a strong foundation in fluency, identity, and academic learning. But when they finish 6th grade today, that pathway ends. We want the council to understand what that ending actually looks like. When our 6th graders leave, they will walk into other middle schools where Tomoru is, at best, a single elective class. After 6 or 7 years of full immersion, they will spend their days learning in English. Research on immersion programs shows that without continued exposure during adolescence, language loss can occur within 2 or 3 years. The work we have started with them is interrupted at the very moment it should deepen. And what is lost in those years is difficult to recover. The middle school years are when language retention takes root for life and when students begin applying their language to higher level academic thinking. With your approval, our students will not have to choose between cultural continuity and academic growth. They will have both. We also want to speak to the demand for this program. We have 16 students ready to enroll in 7th grade today. 16 families who chose Tomoto immersion for their children, who have watched their children grow into confident young Tomoto speakers, and who are now asking us not to let that growth stop at 6th grade. They are ready. We want to be clear that this expansion will grow year over year, in step with our existing students. This coming school year, we would like to add 7th grade for those 16 students. The following school year, then 8th grade, and we welcome a new 7th grade cohort behind them. And then the year after that, we would like to add the 9th grade. This phased approach will allow us to grow responsibly, ensuring each grade level is fully resourced, staffed, and ready before the next is added. Extending our program through these grades will allow us to strengthen Tomoto language proficiency at the stage when fluency becomes lifelong, reinforce cultural knowledge and identity by teaching Tomoto history and traditional knowledge in a structured academic setting, support academic continuity for the students and families who chose our program from the beginning, and respond to the clear and documented interest from our parents and community for a Tomoto grounded pathway beyond elementary. We also ask that the council to consider what is at stake beyond our school. Guam has lost generations of Tomoto speakers. Every cohort that ages out of immersion without a pathway forward is a cohort that may not pass the language to their own children. This is not only about Magalahin Porao. It is about whether Guam has a working pipeline for Tomoto fluency at all. The decision before you today, in a very real sense, is a decision about the future of our language itself. We are not asking to start something new. We are just asking for you to let us finish what we have already begun. For 16 students this coming school year, and for every cohort that will follow them. Ciso Esmasi. Not sure if Sana Biliki.
Thank you. Council members, do you have any questions? Okay, I'm going to say this. I have gotten calls about her chief around. Okay, I've gotten calls to have the council approve it. I said, we still have to go through the process. Okay, even if we support it fully, because you notice when you became a charter, the demand was so high. People, you guys didn't expect this and it was an overflow. There was a demand. So I'm letting you know now, like I told Dylan, if you want this to start for this school year, you need to call, meet up with Feli. She'll provide you all the assistance to get your public hearing going. You need to post it again at the Barragata Mayor's office. You need to post it in your website, public hearing, and then once we do that, then the council will meet in July. We'll schedule our meeting in July, early July, so we can expedite this, give you ample time. Because what's going to happen here is the money that we're getting from the 8.3, you know, says that 8.3, doesn't that sound nice? Is that you're going to utilize the money for that, and that I'm going to request for a supplemental to basically take over whatever you're utilizing for the additional grace that your part. This is a time constraint, so it needs to be done if you want to start your 6th grade or your 7th grade come August. Because I know you said the 8th grade, you will continue it the following year. But the council will approve, do the public hearing a one-time thing, so you don't have to come back before this body. I recommend you state that 7th grade will open 2026, 2027, and 2028 school year, the 8th grade will open. Have a public hearing on that. Okay? You have any questions? Andrew, sign up.
Hi, good afternoon. I just wanted to make sure, are you guys ready to open for the new school year for the 7th grade, you said? So public hearing notices have to go out now. So,
So with the addition of this, is your curriculum set?
Yes, it will be, our 7th grade curriculum is being written as we speak, and it should be, done by June 30th for 7th grade.
Any other questions?
It's not really a question, it's more like number 16, right? What happens when there's only 14? Are you considering combo? Like combine 6th grade and 7, or 7 and 8?
So, one of the things we did even this year, was we combined, if the classes are small, depending on the cohorts that they go to, because it's hard to take in new students when they're already fluent, since they've been three years all the way up to 5th grade now. And so for 4th and 5th grade, what we did this year was we combined them. We combined 4th and 5th grade, having one of our prime seasoned teachers teach that class with both curriculums at hand, right? Just scaffold it to 5th grade. So, I'm sorry, the question?
Combine and combo are kind of different. You can come fifth together, but the 4th grader is on a 4th grade curriculum, and 5th is on a 5th grade curriculum.
Okay.
But they're in the same class.
Okay. Pues half
So combo, that's the combo. You know, like if you don't have enough students for 7, let's say you have 12 out of the 16. Can you teach the 6th grade and 7th grade together as a combo?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but our minimum in each class, even if we had only 12, is still enough to carry that teacher for that budget, even
Okay.
if it's 12.
So I'm
I
just, okay, let's say you only got
Yeah.
6 then, 6 and 6, and you do the combo.
Okay, yeah, all in class. We looked at different scenarios, just to have different plans in case things don't fall through, and we made sure that our budget matches that, so that we never fail the students that are enrolled, and they don't have to go somewhere. We just make sure that it's gonna happen for them, because those families are counting on us.
You know that when you say combine, you know, I just don't want it to be like if a 4th grader was in a 5th grade class, does that mean one go into 6th grade? So that's my I'm trying to define combo and combine.
Okay, the beauty of charter schools is you can't treat it like DOE. Okay, you're treating it like it's a science and they fail. This is a very unique, because not everybody can come in and say you're a certified tomorrow teacher. You can't. It doesn't happen only in public schools, meaning DOE. This is a charter school where they can maneuver, because if it works for them and students are speaking it fluently in 5th grade, then they're doing something right that we have not been doing for a long time. And the afraid school.
Yeah, 5th grade, we today, or to middle school. I don't to this, okay? interviews of students today, and we asked them, the question was, hapa unaweza pagos and hapa unachesha tipo ST nano nano. What have you learned today and through the year, the end of the year, now that you're going to go to middle school? I'm going to see if I can, maybe I'm just going to try. It's worth it. Spencer, we can send it to you as part of the testimony. I was hoping it'll work, but they're so fluent that they can express themselves fully, even impromptu, even to an impromptu question. And they're there. I don't know what to say if I would get run over for these kids at this point, because we built them to this capacity that we can't give up on them. They're counting on us, and they love this. They don't want to go anywhere else. I've asked them, what if morale is going to close down? That was one of the questions. What would you do? And they all fell to tears and said, we don't want to go anywhere else. We need to be here because we need to fight. So we're really building and growing some models that will take over, that will really know who they are in the future. That's what we're doing here, you know? We have this problem today where just among us, as tomorrow, we're enough to, we don't need to blame anybody else. And so we need to raise our children to know that we need, you know, integrative people and some more world. And these are our children today. They're with the spirit of Wala Hinengi and Nakamale, you know, and Agwaza, and it really takes a long time to grow them from 3 years old all the way up to 5th grade and instill that, so that they're strong enough to go back into our be strong, to know how our parents and our great grandparents. Our world is changing so much today. Tomorrow is enough. We can go against each other, you know, in our small community. And so instilling these values with our children, it's not just about learning math, science, and social studies. It's being able to produce citizens, wonderful tomorrow citizens that can go back into our community to make a difference and to help. You know, that counts also. That's even more important, because it doesn't matter how smart you are. You're going to go out and break everything down and go out with hate. This is what we're trying to reverse, is what our children are learning. The drugs, you know, the suicide, everything, the brokenness of our world today. Our kids are finding healing. They're safe in this space. And they're finding healing through learning their culture and our values. So it's more, you know, it's a little bit more. That's what I learned today being on this retreat with these children. The values of our great grandparents that have carried us through all hardships, our colonization. And this is what our children need to hear. Social media is beating us. You know, it's just so much brokenness out there in our world, even just here on one. So where does it begin? It begins in their heart. It begins teaching them and changing their hearts so that they can go represent us. You know, we're making good people. And how do we do that? We teach them who they are as tomorrows. Because that's what's happening, is they have a struggle inside them, and our kids are looking to drugs and suicide because they're not complete in their identity. And they don't know who they are. To be confident in who they are. We teach them our values, and I want to say we teach them about God. And I'm not afraid to say that, because what are we going to do? Wait for another Twin Towers September 11th to say let's pray? You know, that's part of our culture right now. And so this is what these kids are, you know, what I was about to play for you is one of our students said, Huli iminaw. This is straight from her.